Hey, it's your favorite life coach, Dr. Boz, and welcome to Soulful Sundays, where I give you tips on how to keep your cup filled throughout the whole week. And today I want to talk about this sweatshirt that I wore recently for a photo shoot that I did. Shout out to Robert Cooper, amazing photographer. And the sweatshirt says always doing the absolute most. And I adore that sweatshirt because it has such a positive connotation for me. Whereas in the past, it did not. That kind of phrase would have bothered me severely. And that's because for a lot of times, people have told me that I'm too much, or that I'm doing too much, or I'm too much of something. And I believed it because I'm an artist, and we be sensitive about our shit. But being an artist, there was always something I was doing, whether it was dancing on stage, doing poetry on stage, having a book release party, opening a business, being in a play. There was always something I was doing, to a point where I would actually sometimes kind of downplay my accomplishments to make people feel comfortable, or maybe not share certain things with people. And I'll say things like, oh, I'm not gonna, do a book release because I just did one earlier in the year. And somewhere along the lines, with me doing the work, I started to realize that I am not too much for people. And if I am, then they're not my people. And I just want to pass that message to you. And I hope that you realize that too, that you are never too much for people, and for the people who are supposed to be your people. And if ever you are doing the most, because sometimes I do need to sit down and rest, but the right people will tell you that, and they will tell you that in a compassionate, supportive way. So the people who are telling you that you're doing too much, that you're always doing the most, those are the people that you want to avoid. Absolutely, because they're not your people at all. And what I really want people to realize is what's way more important than being the absolute most, or people thinking you're the absolute most, is understanding that you are enough. Because there's so many people out there who don't realize that they are enough, that their gifts and talents are enough, that who they are as a person is enough, that how they look is good enough, that what they do, what they wear is good enough, where they live is good enough. So in a world where a lot of people don't feel good enough, what's more important is that we feel that than be worried about what people say about us doing the absolute most. Okay, so I want you to take that with you this week. If you are doing the absolute most, keep doing the absolute most, right? Because the world needs you. And if other people say it with a negative connotation, call them on their shit and act accordingly. Treat them accordingly. But for the most part, not only are you doing the absolute most you should be, but you are enough. And so when you realize that you are enough, you do not have to explain yourself to people anymore. That's all I got for you this Soulful Sunday. Enjoy the week. Peace.